This is lesson 7, the first part of lesson 7. We've got 3 topics here, and 2 of them are extremely important. That being the first one here, method overloading, and our first of several loops we'll look at. Finally, there's another small topic. It's very easy to remember and work with, makes our life easier. This, THIS. I'm going to start at the first topic, method overloading. This means you can have methods, or constructors, you can have methods with the same name, and they can do slightly different jobs, and Java will have no problem telling which method you want to call. For example, let's try this. I will say class hockey player. Actually, a better one, class bank account. And this will be fairly simple, just to make our points. Class bank account, I'm going to put in several overloaded methods. So first of all, I'll just say it has a balance. Private double balance, and we always put the unit, of course, dollars. Good enough. Public bank account, double balance dollars. That's what I wish I could do. It's a good name. I'm forced to rename it to something like new balance dollars, or something to avoid having the same name as this. We'll fix that later today. So far there should be nothing new here, and I'll start adding something new in a second. I'll just store whatever balance has been passed when I create the object, and then I'm going to make some overloaded methods like this. Public void withdraw amount dollars, and let's just make that a double. And withdrawing involves taking the balance minus whatever was withdrawn. Okay, this method is called withdraw, and if I tried to make the same method twice, Java's not going to like this at all. I'm trying to compile it. Whoops. And it says withdraw double is already defined in bank account. This is a syntax error. I'm not allowed to have the identical method declared twice. However, I can do this. Class compiled, no syntax errors. I have 2 methods named withdraw, but I have 2 different parameter types, and if I change the type, everything works. Watch this. Public void test overloaded methods. And if I do this, withdraw, I'm calling my own method, 10. Okay, I have 2 methods called withdraw here. Which one do you think gets called when I pass an int? Well, Java has no problem. This one gets called. And if I passed it a double, such as 10.5 or even 10.0, Java has no problem telling apart the methods. It says you must want that one. We can test this by turning on the debugger and saying, watching where things go, or we can do something easier for now. System.out.println here. I'll just copy paste the method signature there. And we'll see which one gets called. Okay, so I'm going to call test overloaded methods. I'm passing in a double. Therefore, the first overloaded method will be called. I'll start with $500 every time. I'll right click on my object, inspect it, 500, that's correct, and I'll test overloaded methods. And it did call the double. If I go back and change my code to make it simply 10, an int, this one will get called, and I should see this on the screen instead. I'll start with 500 every time, test my overloaded methods, and now the int one is getting called. You can see from my system out print line, this one gets called because I passed in an int. So to make a long story short, you can overload methods. In other words, you can have the same method name. As that's what overloading means, same method name, as long as you have one, different parameter data types. That's what I did back here. This withdraw takes an int, that withdraw takes a double. And later on, if you passed an int, Java would say this one gets called. If you passed a double, that one gets called. There's no problem with Java being able to tell which one should be called. If you change the data type of the parameter, you are allowed to reuse the parameter, the name. Withdraw? Sure. Withdraw? Sure. Because those are different. Instead, you could change the number of parameters like this. So this won't work, first of all. 2 withdraws that take ints. Withdraw int is already defined. But if I did this, int amount dollars, int pin, compile it.